Hello, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching this video from and when you're watching this video. Yeah, it's a boy. I was Anito, and yeah. So today I am going to be doing something very, very simple, but also a bit complicated. So yeah, there's this kind of design I used to do. If you follow me on Instagram, you would probably notice there are some designs, there are some photo manipulation I do whereby I'm able to like put myself in place of a Marvel character or a Disney character, a DC character. So yeah, today we are going to be working with Loki. We're going to be changing Loki to myself. So as usual, I usually do a bit of research as to what I want to create and the image to use. So yeah, just follow me as we go along. So yes, this is the concept. Yeah, this is the image I want to manipulate. So like I said, it's a very simple manipulation, right? Because I'm not going to do so much with the background. I just want to, just change the face, change the color tone, let it match my personal color tone, my skin tone, I mean, and walk around a few things. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. So yeah, let's change ourselves into Loki. All right, the first thing first, open your Photoshop, new file, and for my width, I'm going to work with 3000. For my height, I'm going to work with, let's work with a portrait. So let's work with 3800. Now resolution 300, you know. And so for my background color, I'm going to choose black, just because I love black. Black is just very fancy. I know. So yeah, create. All right, so we have, excuse me. So we have our canvas ready, right? Now the next thing I want to do is, I've been able to download. Now you would see that, let me just show you what I have at the moment. You would see that I have, this is the image we want to use. This is the image we are manipulating. Then I was able to download this image because I had a concept of it not just being like, since we're working with a portrait, let there be a kind of a very nice scenery, very nice background at the back. And also, yeah, I took these shots. I took two of it, depending on which one works. I just need the shot of a face, a face that stares at the camera. You can use your phone as well. So, but don't laugh at me. I'm using the Canon EOS 600D. It's a very, very old camera, but it still serves its purpose. So yeah, I was able to take two shots, depending on which one will work for me. I think this would work for me. All right, so let's go. Yeah, so the next thing is to bring in, open the file, the image using Photoshop, right? Okay. So first thing first, like I said, I want to edit. I want to place my face on his face, right? Then I'm going to change this color tone. But that doesn't mean I would not use some part of the background, right? So what I'm going to do is this. Instead of even opening it as an image, right? You can just drag it in. Yeah, drag it in to Photoshop and then enlarge it. Hold down Alt. Let's hold down Alt. Alright. I see that heavy. It's taking time. Okay, I guess we'll have to probably like reduce the size. Oh, it looks very heavy. Image size. Let's go to image. Whoa, can you see what I'm seeing, guys? 35,000 pixels. What kind of mistake is that? No wonder it was taking out time. I was wondering. So yeah, we mistakenly typed in 35,000 pixels by 48,000 pixels instead of 3,000 pixels by 3,800 pixels. So we're going to try to resize it, then we continue, our work. So yeah, just let's allow this to load. Normally I would have just taken the easy way of just shutting down the Photoshop and probably restarting, but I might just have to do that. I don't know how long this will take. Alright, shut it down. Alright, let's restart. Open your Photoshop. Anytime I open Photoshop, I'm always very joyous because Photoshop is software that helps me to like imagine things and bring it to life. Like it just gives you this platform to be able to just do anything you want to do, like create anything you want to create. No matter what it is, you can just all you just need to do is think, and the limitation is your creativity. So if you don't think far, you'll be able to use it far. So yeah, it's a powerful software. Alright, come up, Ida, my Christian brothers. Okay, so I don't want to spend too much time, even though now this tutorial is not like a regular replication tutorial, so we might take a little bit of time, but we won't take so much time. And the reason I said that is we are not working with a particular concept like that. We have an idea, but we are still just going with the flow. We can just introduce one or two things along the way and all that. So switch to pixels 3000 by 3800. So change this to black and create. Alright, now we have this. Now the first thing we're going to do, like I said, is to drag in Loki. You can see how fast it is now. Drag him in and then increase it to the point where you'd probably want it to stop. So I want it to be exactly just like this. Now just let's zoom in. You can see this character here, amazing character. I love this guy as much as he's the god of mischief. I love this character, especially the way they portrayed him in the series and stuff. So yeah, before I continue, the first thing I want to do is trace some part of his body out, some part of this environment out, so that we can be able to place, as it is now, it's a flat image. So I'm going to trace out some part of the image so that we can be able to place in other background and effects at the back. So to do that, you can either go through subjects, but it might not be able to because of a program error. Wow. Rasterize subjects. Okay, I think you can't apply subjects without rasterizing your what's it called, your image. Now you can see that I tried, like it was able to get some part of what we are actually looking for. So yeah, we are going to use the polygonal lasso tool to like complete the rest. So let's zoom in, pick your polygonal lasso tool, ensure it is plus, that you are adding to the selection. Just select like that. Let's go down. Just ensure that your selections are detailed and clean, because one thing about photo manipulation is your selections are very, very important. As they are as important as light and shadow. If your selections are not well done, it will tell definitely. So yeah, just ensure you have good selections. Now I want to pick this rock as well as part of the standout image or standalone image. Just this rock. Yep. Now this image was gotten from wallpaper access. So I got this image from wallpaper access. Alright, so let's zoom in slightly. We don't want all these parts to be selected, it's going to stop here. So ensure your subtraction is selected. Then cut this off. Then you have to like include this to the selection. So addition. Alright, so yeah, looking good already. Okay, we need to like make some clean selection here. Let it be clean. Clean. I'm going to give myself hair that I don't have. So like basically this is how I actually design, especially for my photo manipulation. This is how I design. And if not that, even if I wasn't recording, right, I would always still talk to myself. I don't know if it's like common for others, but not like talking to myself in such a way that probably like I'm teaching myself. No, like just okay, I like this goes here, this that kind of talk. Yeah. So yeah, um, we have a pretty nice and decent selection. You should always try to zoom in so that you can be sure that you're actually selecting well. Alright. Okay. Now when you're done with your selection, you make sure you select your polygonal lasso tool is on. Then you go to select and max. Select and max, then you zoom in. What we want to do is we want to refine the air. Where's my zoom in button? Let me hide this ruler. Alright, so we want to like this air, we want to just refine it. So refine edge brush, we are going to reduce it by using the left parenthesis. So just you know what, let's first remove this white part. Let's see how it looks. Oh, it's too much. Slightly. Let's refine it. Okay, my contrast is too high. My smooth, I'm going to put it at 0. I'll try my best not to just, at the end of the day, we might just have to work on the air, cut out some parts and stuff. Anyways, let's just leave it like this. Or you know what? Let's not even tamper with the air. Let's just, we're going to deselect some areas from here. Apparently, I selected the light part, so it's not supposed to be this bright. Apparently. Okay, I'm doing. So I'm trying to like remove those parts. Yeah. So select and max. We're not going to do much work on this, right? Just something simple, straightforward, Alright, so let's just leave it here. Tried my best. Alright, you can see the selection looks clean from afar, but when you zoom in, then you see a lot of errors and stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of Photoshop. Okay, so the next thing is this. Aside the selection, I want to select this, this old stuff here. So I'm just going to pick it just like this. Just watch what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to like select some other part of the background. And the reason I'm doing that is when I'm done, I'll be able to place effects at the back of Loki, and I'll also be able to place effects at the back of some other objects. Makes it very, very, realistic and stuff. Don't mind my selection, it's just very rough, but I'm just trying to beat time. At the end of the day, some of these things would be almost not obvious because we'll probably add Gaussian blur or motion blur, something kind of blur. Yeah. All right, remove this. Okay, let me also select. I'm going to select this part where he's sitting. Yeah, just this part. Yeah, exactly. I like the vibe going on here, so I don't want to discard it. In as much as I'll be bringing in another background, you can see that, we've not even started the main work. We're already spending time, but I promised not to spend so much time on all these things. We'll just, speed up at it and just tidy it up. All right, so I'm done with what I want to select. Now, you just Control J to bring out those selection from the original image so that it can stand alone. Now you can see that we have this image, then we have this image. So if I place an effect at the back of Loki, it would reflect on these images, but they are also in front of the main background. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, so this is it. So let's save our work. Let me save it to my regular place, my PSD. Loki. I also need to save. Alright, the next now to do is to work on the face itself. Like, I just need to speed up the whole stuff. So let's work on the face. Now, there are several ways to achieve changing faces and changing the skin tone, replacing faces and stuff. But what I do is what I want to show you. So if there are other ways, like probably perform the same magic, you can also pick it up, or you can learn one or two things from what I'm trying to do here. So the next thing is to bring in the image I want to use. I pray the image works. If it doesn't work, I would have to close down this tutorial video. So I'm going to select the edge down to the neck, so that I can be able to clean out some parts. Then I'm going to take away all these parts. Alright, so let's say I'm done with the selection. Control J. Now we have this edge, this big edge of a guy. You drag it in. This is cringy. Sorry. Alright, so let's just zoom it in. Don't mind my face. Very, very funny boy. Now, you understand that at the end of the day, the goal is not to have you look exactly like you and losing that Loki touch. You want to be in the position of Loki. You want to put yourself in that same character. So at the end of the day, you might end up looking more of Loki and more of you than just you. So we have edge. We name it as edge, and you can see that if I reduce the opacity, you can see where the eyes is just slightly like this. And if I zoom out, you can see that you can see, so when the eyes are aligned, not all the time, it's not all the time that the eyes will be aligned with the original image. So, but it's just photo manipulation is just you trying to find your way around things. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to try to make sure the edge aligns properly with the other face. And to do that, first you have to first cut out the unnecessary part. Excuse me. Let's add a layer mask. So we want to like clean out this the neck. So I've added the layer mask. It's on black, and I just clean it out. Just clean this out. Just clean it. Pow, pow, pow. All right. I think I am contented. It's the cleaning. All right. So you can see that part of the edge, part of the chin is just in front of the hand. So we definitely would have to like clean those parts. Alright, so let's clean those parts until the hand is showing. And you can see that now there's an issue. The lips is already going. My lips is bigger than Loki's lips, imagine. So we reduce it slightly. Just take it up like this. Then you can just transform this place slightly. Don't be scared to distort your face. It's not your real face. You understand? And at the end of the day, you might end up using Loki's ear and not your ear. You understand? So yeah, just watch what I'm doing. So just clean off all these parts. I'm trying to make sure that the face is well rested first before we start doing any other thing. Just trying to make sure that the face is well rested. So just follow me. This is how I do my face placement. So that when you zoom, you can almost see that look. It's not there yet, but just watch. I mean, it's coming gradually. Let's take the face up slightly. Now we would have to increase the edge because it looks like the face is getting lost. Then probably tilt it. No, let's tilt it back. All right. It can be very, very scary at first, but at the end of the day, you come out with something funny. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, I guess I needed to like turn the edge. Oh, that's true. You know that when I took the snapshot, it's just like a mirror. You watching me, my left is your right, my right is your left, kind of. I don't know if you understand that analogy. Yeah, so I'm supposed to have edited it, like flipped it, exactly, a flipped image. You're supposed to flip it so that it can take the original shape. So that's exactly what happened. That's why it was not really looking so real. Now you can see that the vibe is already coming in little by little. So yeah, let's brush out some. Oh, it's too much. Just brush out some part of the hair. Just some parts. Let's bring in some parts back. So let's turn this to white and bring in some parts back. My scar must be there because it's a representation of who I am. Yeah. Anyways, it's looking like something I like already. So let's just turn it off. Now the next thing we want to do now is to select areas where the face is white. Then we are going to edit it, like manipulate it and turn it to black. Now select your Loki. Let's change him to Loki. Let's change this to background PG. Let's change this to element. Okay, speed up. So just watch me. I'm selecting this the skin tone that needs to be edited. So that's what I want to do now. Now I've properly placed the face, right? But you can't completely like do everything you need to do if the skin itself is not yet set. So that's why I just had to bend that particular stuff I was doing, that the eyes and stuff. So yeah, select. I hope when I'm editing this video I'll try to like speed up all this selection. Okay, ensure your addition is on. Select the and. I would advise that if you are conversant with Pen 2, it's best to use Pen 2. I think in one of my videos I already explained why Pen 2 is better than polygonal lasso tool or any form of selection tool, and that's because aside the fact that it is more detailed, I mean your system can just misbehave and other tools will just automatically connect wherever you are, even if you have not finished selecting. But for Pen 2, wherever you stop, you will continue from there. So alright. So you make sure every part that has the skin tone is selected, and because that's where we are going to like make our edits on. Alright, so those are the places. Now the next thing you want to do is Control J. That is, you are like making a new layer just for the selection. So Control J, you can see this is just the head and face and all that. So alright, so let's call this skin tone. Now to transform the skin tone from black to white usually take a lot of test run, right? So there's no single way to changing a skin tone from white to black or black to white. But yeah, there are just several ways you just test run and just see which one works for you. But in all my test running, I've seen that there are certain things that I do that helps me. But before I do that, I need to like make the face have like no elements whatsoever. It's just going to be a blank face. So to do that, very, very simple. Just come here, you can use your spot alien brush, but sometimes it doesn't work well. So pick your patch tool and just select and drag. Select. You want to make a blank face, a face without any elements, like Lagbaja. Somebody that is not recognizable. Now it's going to be. You don't have to necessarily make it a very, very smooth walk. The idea is to just make sure that nothing is on the face, so that the other face, that's your own face, can properly rest on it. So just play around this, just whichever way you want to do this, just play around this. Alright, so now that we are done, so you can see that it is now smooth. So even smoothing it more, you can take your smudge tool and just smudge around it. It's too much. Reduce the strength to like 25. Just smudge around this. What you're trying to do is you're just trying to make it smooth and and easy to accept colors, if that word is correct. Alright, so we have this set. Now the first thing is to introduce brightness and contrast. So come to your adjustment layer, click on brightness and contrast, right click on it and clip it to the skin tone, because everything you want to be doing now is to just affect the skin tone. So reduce the brightness just as like so, increase the contrast slightly, just like this. Now you can see all these edges. Don't worry, we are still going to blend it well. So, but yeah, just follow me as I do this. Then go to your adjustment layer again, select solid color, and you are going to look for the color of a dark brown color, I mean. So you're going to just, now to get it perfectly, you can always do your research and probably go online and search for color code of dark brown, you know. Yeah, something like this. This is dark brown. Now I'm dark brown, I'm not black. So most people are not black, they are just dark brown. Alright, now when you have that, you can right click and clip it to the face as well. And what you want to do is you're going to blend this. You're going to blend it. What can I use? Oh, not color. Let's use where are you? Just trying out several things. Alright, so let's just work with color dodge. Let's work with color dodge. So off and on, off and on. So color dodge. And something else we can add, let me see, we can we can add curves. So click on your curves. Then just, you know, curve is a delicate tool, so you have to ensure that you're not using it too much. So as it is now, it is currently too much. Then you come to your opacity and reduce it. Come to your fill, reduce it. Alright, so let's say I want to add something else. What can I add again? I just like trying a lot of things, to be honest. I just like trying a lot of things. I can even try exposure, but exposure might be too much. Okay, it's fair, not too dark. Alright, so exposure works as well. Alright, this is good. I think we have our color, our skin color already. I mean, it's not perfect, so but yeah, we have our skin color already. Now we're going to turn on the face. Now the face is also totally different from, I mean, the skin color we just created. So at the end of the day, you would work on both the skin color and the face you are bringing in. So to work on the face as well, you bring in brightness and contrast. Just test it out to see what works best. You bring in, now sometimes I try hue and saturation because the color is not usually easy to like get. I mean, dark skin color, converting it from light skin to dark, it's not always easy to get. So sometimes I use hue and saturation just to get that, what's it called? Just to get that feel, I don't know. Then the last thing I usually add here is the solid color. And because I can't remember the color we use, I'll have to just duplicate this and bring it here. You know, just clip this back. Let's see, we're running out of time. So bring this up here. Then we can, alright, so instead of using color dodge like the skin tone, since I'm already black, I don't need to use color dodge, I'll just use soft light. So you can then, you know, edit it based on how you want it to look like. So you can see that we already have a fine black Loki. It's not done, right, because we still have a lot of work to do on the whole face, but I mean, I'm a good Loki. Don't mind me, I'm a very, very funny guy. I'm not funny. I don't think I'm funny. Well, I'm very, very naughty sometimes. Skip that. So yeah, we have our face, but we still have this stuff going on, and we still have this whole hair. I mean, even if we are going to use a black guy for Loki, his face wouldn't be, his hair would not be this. So what we'll do is just come down to Loki here and apply. Let's apply brightness and contrast. Create clipping marks. Increase the contrast. Reduce the brightness, just like this. Now that we have that, I could have just left it like this, but no, that's not what we are going for. Because if we are going for this, it won't really make sense. The face is brighter than the body. So what we are going for is just to add that dark shade to just the hair. So while clicking on our the layer marks of our brightness and contrast, just hold down. Excuse me. What did I press? Just give me a moment, please. Alright, so all we're trying to do is we want to control I, that's we want to invert I think I've done something. Brightness and contrast here. Let's increase our contrast, okay, and reduce the brightness exactly, just like this. Not so much, yeah. So hold down what's it called, our layer marks, Control I. Now Control I means instead of it affecting everything, we want to only apply it to certain things. But to apply to certain things, we'll first turn off the whole effect, then start painting out the effect, if that makes sense. So let me go back. It is currently, affecting everything. You can see that everywhere is black, like the whole body is black. So click on the layer marks and press down Control I. So you inverted it. So after pressing that Control I, then you can take your brush to ensure this is currently in white and paint the air. Just paint the air, because it's just the air we are interested in. Just paint it. Yeah, just paint it, paint. And you can paint some part of the skin as well. But I mean, I'm just more interested in the air. Alright, so you can see that it's affected just the air and some part of the skin that we applied it to. Let me apply it to this side as well. That's the chin. Yeah, something like this. Alright, so we have this good looking Loki. Now I feel the head is slightly big. I don't know, is it me? I just feel the head is slightly big. Let me just reduce it lightly. Let me see how it looks. It's just like this. Aha. Just like. Alright, then we have to our skin tone. Okay, yeah. Now that we have this, yeah, it looks better now. But you see that behind the skin tone, behind the face, we still have this kind of vibe, like there's this kind of light coming out. So to achieve, to cover that up, we would have to just apply behind the head, behind the skin tone, we'll apply a shade. So create a new layer just beneath the skin tone and call it skin shade. So you want to just darken those parts. This, look at these sides that are coming out, this white, it's not supposed to be like that. So yeah, take the color black and paint across. Oh, okay, we can see that it's affecting the main skin. So to do that, just select your skin tone, create a new layer clipped to the skin tone and call it skin shade as well. Now what we want to do is, you can see that if you paint across, it affects the skin. So just to test that. So but yeah, I mean, what we're going to do is paint across. Don't worry, we are going to blend it out. Just paint across. Yeah. Then let's use soft light. Then we can reduce the opacity. We can reduce the fill. Yeah, something like this. Now this works better. Now at the end of the day, when we are done with everything and you want to like perfectly work on it, when you merge the skin and the face together, then you can use your smudge tool to smudge it out and to smoothen out those parts. So yeah, let's do that. Let's assume we are done, right? This is the head and this is the skin tone. So Ctrl G to group them, we'll call them head. Ctrl J to duplicate. So this particular one, we just merge them so it becomes just one head like this. Now that we have that, we can then apply it to our main body, which is this main body, and press merge. So now it is one singular image. See, just one singular image. All right, rush, we are rushing. All right, so now that it is one singular image, then let's zoom in and perform those stuff we're talking about, like this part that still has this lights. What we can just do is take a spot scaling brush and just brush across there, and let's hope no, it doesn't. Let's try patch. Still did not. Okay, so I'm left with the option of burning the place. So burn to just burn it slightly. I mean, you're not supposed to use this tool generally, but I mean, there's no way around it. But yeah, this one definitely you need to like apply. Yeah, so then you can use your smudge tool to smoothen up those parts. Smudge tool is a very powerful tool. It makes your work look real. Like it just makes your work look very real. So I'm going to smudge, the whole face. Just smudge it. I mean, I'm still going to keep some part of the detail, but I just want to make it look like the original image itself. It doesn't look too real because I use a professional camera for the face. So if you're not careful, they can easily tell that. Yeah, and the reason why I'm making it rough like this is just because I just feel like there's no probably there's no theory to why I'm doing that. I just wanted to have that kind of cartoonish vibe, kind of, I don't know. Okay. Alright, so the ear as well as the hand. So just smudge out the hand, those parts that doesn't really blend well with the original design. Just smudge it out. Now let's go to the main hand, the other hand. I think there's one more hand. Yeah, this one. And just smudge. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah, I love where we are at the moment. And let me just quickly respond to my messages. Excuse me. All right, so I mean, let's just say we are happy with what we have at the moment. We might not be, but let's just say we are. The next thing is to now introduce the scenery, like the background and stuff, and we're going to bring in this background. I just like the vibe it's giving. Let's increase it, take it up slightly. So let's rasterize it, call it BG2. Bring it to the back. Now you see where I'm going with this. Yeah, sure. Alright. So yeah, we have this amazing image, but there's a very big difference. There's a very big difference in the color theme. Like the background is totally different from the color of the background is totally different from the color of the old designs we're working on. And also there's this kind of light form coming out here. I mean, it's just totally distorted. So to do that, you can just select your BG, come to image, adjustments, and match color. So source, Loki. I want to try out something before there are two ways to actually make your background, make the color of your background tally with an image. You can either probably just go through this match color, or you can just walk around bringing in colors and colorizing the whole thing. Sorry, I think I'm looking at this image. Sometimes when you stare at an image so much, it just seems kind of unreal. Like this design itself, Loki, it's looking unreal. I don't know, the head looks kind of big. So before we go to our background, let's just quickly edit. Let's liquify. It's looking just kind of unreal. So what I want to do is I'm going to like match down or press down the head. I'm going to press it down so that it can look better to me. I don't know. Personally, I am not really. So to do that, you use your forward warp, then increase. Then you can now press down. No, press down. I don't know. I just feel should. I'm getting distorted enough. No. There's something just off about that. I don't know. Okay. Probably it's just me. I don't know. Oh, this is too much. Okay, I think it looks better now. I don't know, it looks better. Let me reduce the ear. I don't have a big ear. It was looking kind of off for me, I don't know. That's why I had to just work on it. Alright, now it looks better. It looks better now. Let's press OK. I'm seeing error. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, so this is one of the many things you might face if Photoshop just decides to misbehave. And that being said, we might have to like close down the Photoshop. Yeah. Alright, we have to close it down. Unfortunately, I just hope I saved enough. Okay. So I've been able to let's continue. So I've been able to like edit what I want to edit, right? So don't mind Photoshop, it was just misbehaving. I don't know. I guess probably because I just don't understand why, but so So I've just been able to, now you can see that now the face is a bit lifted up. Unlike before, it was like drawn down, for like it was a bit down, and it was giving it this kind of unreal vibe. I don't know. So yeah, let's just quickly edit the background. So this background, I said there are two ways to add, to like match your colors. You can either go straight to your image and match color, or you can do it the way we have been doing it, adding adjustment layer and stuff. So let me do the first one. You make sure your background is selected, go to your image, adjustments, match color. Now the source, Loki. Now which color do you want to match? You're going to match it with, let's say, Loki itself. See, it's not really matching well. It's not matching well as well. Let's say elements. Slightly, I mean just slightly. So if it's slightly, you can then come to the luminance or something here, reduce the color intensity. If that would work, it worked. That worked actually. So yeah, let's reduce the color intensity, increase the luminance, because it shows that there's light coming from this side. It's like there's a passage, then there's this destruction, then he's seated, then there's another building at the back. So yeah, this works for me. So I'm going to stick with this and press OK. Or else would have just used a lot of adjustment layer, just add color, reduce brightness, increase, but just play around a lot of things. You can always test that out yourself, but because we do not have the luxury of time, we'll just speed through this whole process. So yes, let's save. Always ensure you save your work. I know normally it's Blender that requires you to always save when you're working on a very, very high project, but I don't know that Photoshop wants to start taking the place of Blender. Anyways, yeah, let's go. So we have our background set. Now you know that your background would never have the high definition. If there's a subject in front, it has to be blurry. So we're going to add Gaussian blur. So filter, blur, Gaussian blur. So yeah, something like this. Yeah, and press OK. So let's save as well. Now the light is coming from this end, like it's shooting into the building, and that's why you see there's light at the side of his right arm or his left arm. So we want to bring in a light effect. Let's go to our downloads. I used to store a lot of lights, a lot, depending on when I need them. There's one particular one I use, this light glow. I use it almost in all my designs. Any design that requires light. For you that have noticed, you would have seen me use it once in a while. So we want to bring the light here. Let's rasterize. Normal, convert it to screen. Color dodge will not do the magic. It's screen that will do the magic. So we make it very big. So it's going to be coming down from here. And another thing we can do is add this same light glow to this object here. So Ctrl J, take it up, then clip it here so that it can have that effect. Yeah, so we have this, save. Alright, this element, let's add a bit of shade to it. Yeah, a bit. Alright, so it's looking good already. I think we are rounding off already. Man, I mean, Maui should really cast me, to be honest. Just kidding. So yeah, we need to add, what else do we want to add? I don't want to make it like the common, like the usual one where I had those fairy effect and all those things. I mean this fairy effect. For people that don't know, I'm a fan of this fairy effect where you just, let me show you what I mean. You bring it in, you place it, and you rasterize, and you change the blending option to screen, and you have this vibe. Then you can place it at the back. Yeah, something like this. You can place it in front like this. But I don't want that. I just want it to be clean. Yeah, I want it to be clean. Alright, so what else do we want to add? What else do you want to add? What else do you want to add? What else do you want to add? I do not know. Let's open our file and bring in our name. That was an into manipulation. So basically, anytime I finish designing, I just open an old file, drag in my tagline and just paste it on it, then do a bit of editing. So what I'll just do now is just do some final touches and save it and just upload. Then we are done. I think we've spent about 1 hour 20 minutes. It's a long video, but it's worth it. I'll try to cut out some parts that are very, very unnecessary. Alright, so we are waiting for this to open. Don't take too much time, please. We don't have the time. We're running out of time. It's actually a very large file. This one I'm opening here. This the Dora poster. That's the is it Amira now or Dora poster? Yeah, this particular one. It's a very, very large file. So yeah, what we need here is just this and else and into manipulation. That's all we need. Normally I could have just typed it, but I'm used to that particular font. Alright, why is it taking time to load? Alright, drag and place. Put it in front. That was an intro. If you want to get the exact center, just select your layer, hold down Control, select the general layer, that's the first layer. Then you look up here, you will see this, and you centralize and automatically place it to the center. So yeah, that's how I do it, man. It's like that. So let's quickly add some effects, our blur, our light, and everything, the usual. But first, let me close this particular one. It's taking too much space. So first off, let me smush this in. Yeah, something like this. Alright, so first off, we are going to, all this edge, you're going to just blur them out. So pick your blur tool and just blur them out just like so. So that's what we want to do. Just blur, so it can blend directly with the background, and it's not just looking like something that is outside the background. You have to always do this to give it a very realistic view. And so yeah, this is basically how I turn myself to various Marvel characters, and not just myself, how I turn celebrities to various Marvel characters. I just, just play around it and just add a few things, remove some things, blah blah blah, just play around it. I get my images from wallpaper access because it's like a movie poster area. You get a lot of movie posters there, then you can just pick and edit. Since it's not, I mean, it's a fan art, so you're not selling it, it's not for commercial sake. So if it's not a fan art, I would not advise you to just pick anybody's poster and just start editing. It doesn't make sense. So, but since, I mean, it's just for the fun of it, just to also push the name of the brand. So yeah, and that's why anytime you do stuff like this, you always have to put it in your, like, a form of a notification that it's a fan art and stuff. Yeah, so the air is too full. I don't know, I just feel the air is just too full. No. Anyways, yeah, so we can add our lights. We're not supposed to add too much light because it has light already, but just so that you can know how to add your light. When you open a new layer, just right click and create clipping mask. Then alright, yeah, sorry for the break in transmission. I had my camera, the battery went down, so I had to like switch. So yeah, just select a bright color, then zoom in to where you would like your lights to be, and just paint across. Ensure it is clipped to the image itself. Then paint across, just like that. Paint across, just like that, paint across. Yeah, it's not going to get down here since the light is not totally full. So yeah, just paint across, just like this. Then create a new layer, just click to that one, then call it dark or darkness or whatever it is you want to call it. Change this to black, then you paint across, just paint across, like so. Yeah, so I mean, you're not supposed to put in so much light and darkness since everything is set for you from the design itself. So the light and the dark, all you just need to do is turn it to overlay. For the dark, you turn it to soft light. Then you can reduce the opacity slightly. You turn it off, turn it on, you can see the difference. For the light overlay, turn it off, turn it on, you can see the difference. Then you can reduce the hue slightly. So after doing that, we have this. If you want, you can download the name like Loki and just bring it in, and just. So yeah, I mean, this looks very nice, this looks very, very good, and this look amazing. If you'd love to try it out, I mean, you can always give it a try and just probably share with me, or post and tag me and let me see what you're able to like come up with. And also, if you want to like use someone like another character other than Loki, I would also love to see that. Yeah, basically this is where we're going to stop for today. The rest is to just add your camera raw filter, the usual way we do it. Add your camera raw filter and just export. So yeah, thanks so much. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, you can comment, or you can subscribe. And also, if you'd love to see more of these, you can always like let me know If you want us to replicate a particular design, or you have a concept in mind you saw that you'd love me to probably create using my own technique. Now, I must say that every design I'm doing here is based on collections of techniques that I've been able to like learn over time. So yeah, there is no single technique to a particular design. It's numerous ways in achieving one particular desired result. So yeah, thanks so much guys. Yeah, see you next time.